period intermission update. Because let me tell you, an interesting period there for our Edmonton Oilers. This ain't going to work as good as I had thought it might. But anyway, the Oilers, well, a workout on our eyes in that first period, I guess you could say, to maybe try and rival Gene Principe coming out of the intermission. But yeah, where do you begin? A 1-1 tie, and Mikko Koskinen lets in the first goal of the game on the first shot of the game, and away we go, and off we're running, and it's not looking as good as it possibly could, right? And then all of a sudden you get yourself into a situation where you find a 1-1 tie on what is a typical Oilers goal, right? That goal that we had scored with Yamamoto, that is such a typical Oilers goal against. It was nice to see that the Oilers score one of them off of the stick of Kyler Yamamoto. And I really don't get why it's squeaking so much. Maybe I've worked it a little bit too much as of late, but a little bit of a different situation here for tonight's hockey game, as I've had to do some stuff to get things going in life here. If you've seen the absence on the channel, it's about taking care of yourself and stuff. And one thing I haven't done a very good job about taking care of myself in the winter time so far this year is getting the exercise in. So you'll stepper out on the living room floor while watching a hockey game tonight. It's been a solid little go, and I think, like I said, it's a mental workout watching the Oilers give up the first goal of the game and then just worrying that you're going to have to claw back in. I will say one thing I tweeted sent to my buddy up in Edmonton area is I told him we're going to lose this hockey game simply because they played the pre-recorded I always forget our anthem singer's name. I feel terrible. But anyway, the pre-recorded anthem of him at center ice in the empty building, we've had that pre-recorded, and we've played that for how many ever games? We played that every single night of the Leafs series, and guess what we did? We got swept by the Leafs. We play that tonight against the Senators, and we go down 1-0 right out of the gate. Is this just an awful squeak? And I apologize if that's what you're hearing. Yeah, Rob Clark, that guy. Anyway, the problem being, my friends, is that goes, and that's a pattern, right? I don't like seeing patterns with the Oilers unless they're good patterns. And so far, the Rob Clark anthem thing has been a bad kind of situation, pattern, whatever you want to call it. We now find ourselves, of course, go into Saturday. Sorry, River, I'll finish this off and then I'll get to your chat. But right, is we finished it off against Calgary, a 3-2 win. Why? We had Brett Kissel sing the anthem close to the anniversary of a legendary tweet from a now suspended Twitter account talking about Connor McDavid's fake quote, quoting something about Brett Kissel and the Nashville blowout from last spring, right? We'd all remember that one, where Leon Draisaitl had a fantastic night. I think another 4-goal performance against the Preds. Something he does very regularly, and unfortunately he just can't do this season for the Oilers because, well, we don't get to play Nashville until, well, if we get to play Nashville at all, I guess you could say. Ray-Roll, thank you so much for the $2 dono. Appreciate that. That's something I haven't had available to me because I've had the chat off on the previous last live streams. I don't know how to disable chat on my phone when I go live, so there you have it, the results, and they come in positive. Appreciate it, Ray-Roll. And we find ourselves midway through the intermission. Of course, I had to go grab a snack, get the stream fired up, and away we go. So a little bit of exercise, too, as I think this is the most Gene Principe thing I could do for an intermission thing, as there's been a couple of good scraps in the NHL today, one against Curtis Gabriel and Kyle Clifford. You know, we saw that scrap between Jujhar Khaira and Erica Branson after Khaira absolutely rocked Josh Norris. You've got to see that one. Go back, go on Sportsnet, go through the little highlights. Don't watch the period highlights. Go through the highlights, like live game highlights, and go through where it finds hit by hit, shot by shot, goal by goal. You don't have to watch any ads on those, and you'll be able to watch the play in question with about 3 different replay angles, but it's a beauty of a clip, realistically. Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, very concerned that it was going to be a clipping call, ends up being a tripping call, and Khaira having to go to the box for 2+5 because, well, he got into a fight with Erica Branson, and they handed it to each other, but yeah, Jujhar Khaira definitely got the worst of that because you see what happened to him. He got cut on the nose, and he was bleeding as he headed to the box, but instead of heading to the box, he headed down the tunnel and went and discussed things with the training staff to get all stitched up and ready to go. He was then out there in the box, and there was a moment on the power play where they had to usher him back to the bench because his time was up, but he wasn't sure his time was up because, well, Eric Branson's still in the box because of the 2, 5, and the 10, the old Junior B special, and, well, he finds himself out and about now, hopefully for the second period, and hopefully maybe we get to see a little bit of a rematch. Hey, I'm game for this Edmonton Oilers team coming to fight all of a sudden, whether it be Calgary or Ottawa. This team likes to chuck the gloves off and throw hands, and I'm loving every second of it, that is for sure. And let me tell you guys, yeah, you notice the goatee. Actually, I just shaved it down after doing the video this evening, and it's been something I've been working on for sure, but it's coming in nice now after how many ever years of attempting the goatee, I will tell you that much. As we find ourselves watching a couple last commercials, we should go to Gene Principe. I'll be interested to see whoever he has on the desk with him tonight. I haven't really been keeping up with that, right? Like I said, in case you wondered why I was so quiet when it came to the Leafs series, well, I watched all of the Leafs game on last Saturday, right? Watched that, did a game review, everything was normal. Then come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all a blur. I mean, honestly, that was probably a terrible week, and it was somehow the nicest week of the winter so far. Don't mind me, I'm just going off the deep end sometimes. And, well, you know what? Going off the deep end means, you know, you watch the Oilers play terrible hockey, you pack it in, you go to bed, and you call her a day. And I did a lot of that last week, and unfortunately, that meant not really knowing what's going on with the Oilers in those Leafs games. Not that I was missing much. I'm not telling you I'm missing much, but what I'm telling you is that's why you don't see anything. If I got nothing to say, because straight up I had nothing to even go off of, because I wasn't bothered watching a period in 10 seconds each of the last 2 games of the series. If you want my opinion on the period and a half, sure, whatever, let's go for it. But game reviews are game reviews because of 60 minutes, not because of 22 minutes and 30 seconds. I got to tell you that much. Rayburn, always the double don't scare me. Not always double don't scare me because, you know, like, I don't feel emotional. I appreciate it, Virgo. I don't know, it makes me awkward. I don't know how to say it. And Craig, I want to get back to your comment because I want to try and remove it because it's got language we don't condone here as my legs are all messed up here. All right, anyway. Anyway, Mr. Darnell Nurse coming on as an elite defenseman. Here's the thing. Darnell Nurse is not an elite passer. Darnell Nurse, if you listen to any Oilers commentator, will tell you that it is simply he is an elite transporter, I think is the word I'm looking for. Elite puck transporter. So what he does well is move the puck from location A, the defensive zone, to either the offensive zone or the neutral zone before passing it off. You know, he's not a great stretch passer. You see in that first period, Leon Draisaitl makes way better stretch passes backhanded, blindfolded, out of his own zone than Darnell Nurse could from his own red line, goal line, to the blue line. It just is the nature of it. It's the way it goes, and I straight up don't understand it, right? You'd think Darnell Nurse, he plays this much in the NHL, he'd be able to get things going with some passes from the defensive zone sometimes. Still can't figure it out, but man, when he rushes that puck up and doesn't turn it over, good things happen for the Oilers, and that is why he is so talented at what he does, especially this season, is you give him a chance to move the puck up with the Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Good things are going to happen. That's the beauty of it. Hard part is you can't always allow for your defensemen to be transporting that puck up the ice like that every game, especially late in the third period. The last thing you want to do is turn it over in the neutral zone, right? So there's a couple of situations you find yourself in where that is a really bad thing, especially if you can't make that quick, clean breakout pass. And I get your point there for sure. So that's my little bit of a rant there, I guess you could say. So, but he's just getting off work. That's literally what's coming in my phone right now. If you heard my phone vibrate, somebody's just getting off work. But yeah, so here we go. As we have a lot of situations with the Oilers, straight up. I mean, I pretend to know, but again, like I said, I've missed a lot this season, but it's also tough because this season is a slam, right? It's day off, game day off, game day, day off, game day off, game day off. and you just continue to keep going at it no matter what. And unfortunately, when you need a break, especially when it's plus 5, 10, 15 degrees outside in the middle of March, and you want to go for that walk before the game at 6 o'clock and you just can't get it, like maybe on Wednesday, right? That's the thing. And that's what I'm telling you guys. For me to continue to do this successfully for the next little bit here heading into playoffs, got to take care of myself. Can't let YouTube dictate my schedule. And that's the tough part is straight up. YouTube dictates a schedule outside of work. That's not a good thing, and you guys have seen the results of that. So tonight, you know what? Take some time for myself watching the game, and it's been a positive little game. Like I said, a little bit of a workout watching the Oilers game simply because it's been stressful, and I mean, the brain's had to think, where's this game headed, especially after seeing the pregame anthem be pre-recorded, and then watching the Oilers give up the first shot of the game as a goal, and Koskinen coming in a do-or-die game, and there's a lot to the situation, I must say. But you know what? You just walk it out, and you get on the stepper, and you get going, and it's a good time, let me tell you. So we find ourselves wrapping up the intermission. They have the International Women's Day graphic on the screen. So that means they don't have a timer to the intermission being over. I'm not trying to say I need the intermission over, but at the same rate, normally we don't go 12 minutes through an intermission live on Dolly TV at once. So that's kind of the tough part I'm telling you right now is I have no reference as to when the period's going to start. And trust me, I'm not live streaming the rest of the game off my phone. That would be just silly because simply, if you ever followed me back in the 2017 playoffs, I'd be able to get 40 minutes in, and then my phone would almost start melting, and that really doesn't work out for anybody. So, and yeah, it just does not work out to be good, so we don't worry about it. We have roughly 3 minutes. Sam, thanks for the heads up, as that'll get us going. So I'll peace on out of here at the 13-minute mark of the live stream. That should be good enough, eh? I think that should be good enough to get you guys through. Again, a shout out to Ray-Ro for getting us going here on the donation board. Once again, it's been a while, of course, to chat off for the play-by-play streams. And that's something I've actually heard some feedback on, that doing that and doing what I was doing in those live streams, even at workouts here in the feedback from some customers that were just looking for a live stream on online, and they happen to stumble upon a buddy that sells them sheet metal sometimes. Well, you know what? It turned out pretty good, and I got some good feedback, so that will continue when we get a chance. Last Saturday, let me tell you, I chose to watch that one for myself, chose to do it upright, and it was a good time, that's for sure. And Ron, as we're finishing off this live stream, I am exhausted, but this was perhaps the best thing ever, and I definitely get why the CBC eye-opener in the summertime chooses to do the walking shows, because this is the way to do broadcasting. Let me tell you, a little bit of a workout, a little bit of get everything off your mind at the same time, and it's a good time to be had, that's for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson Distol on your TV. Thank you so much for tuning in and dealing with the squeaking. I've put this thing through the paces this evening, quite literally. I'm going to catch you in the second intermission. Don't think I'm going to catch you post-game, though, because it's going to be a late one. And, well, guys got to get to work for a little bit earlier tomorrow. Big old furnace trailer coming in, and we're going to crush it tomorrow morning and then go crush a bunch of deliveries. I'm Tyson Dolan, TV, up on out of here.